Hey, it's Laura from Winter Family Cooking. Today we are going to be making soft pretzels. Come join me. First thing we're going to do is get the yeast going. So I have 1 3/4 cup of water here. It's as hot as I can get out of the tap. That's all you want. You don't want it too much hotter than that because it will cause the yeast to not work. So we start with a teaspoon of sugar in this. And then we need 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I'm gonna take this here, get this put in here. So there's 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I'm gonna stir it just a little bit. Kind of get incorporated in there. We're gonna just push this aside and let it sit there while we get everything else into our mixing bowl. Set it over here. Now we're going to get everything we need into our mixer here. You can do this in a regular bowl and just use your hands. I'm going to use my trusty mixer with the dough hook. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm using bread flour for this. I have used regular flour in the past. They don't come out as fluffy, like big and poofy. So I am going to use bread flour today. Just got this at my local store. It's just their brand or whatever. You can use any type of it. So we are going to do 5 cups of flour. I'm gonna put it right into the bowl here. 5, I think. I kind of stopped counting. You're gonna put it right in with that flour. 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm gonna do 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. You can do any kind of salt. There's sea salt, regular salt, whatever. I took my sea salt and just twisted a whole bunch of it into a bowl. So I'm gonna do 1 1/2 teaspoons of that. There we go, 1 1/2 teaspoons, and I will save the rest of this for actually topping the pretzels with it. So we will leave that over to the side. Okay, so I have all of that, the dry ingredients in the bowl. I'm going to mix that just a little bit. And now I'm actually going to add this. So you can see right here, let me bring you in here. So that's what it looks like. We're gonna pour that right into that. All right, here we go. While that's going, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of honey. Oh no, it got all over the thing. All right, so I'm gonna keep mixing this here. Turn it up a little bit. Now, one thing with this recipe is you may have to add an extra 1/2 cup of warm water. I'm going to kind of let this go and see where it's at and start slowly adding some. I have added too much water. It's more than I have to counteract it with bread flour. So I want to kind of let it go for a minute here. I'm going to add just a little bit here. Now this is the time, if you don't have a mixer, you're gonna put it out on the counter and start hand kneading it, and you'll need to knead it for about 5 minutes or so. The nice thing about the mixture is you just kind of let it go. And you let it go for about 7 or 8 minutes. Alright, so I've let this go for a little bit. We need to put it in a bowl that needs to be lightly oiled. So I'm just going to drop a couple drops of this oil in it and then rub it around. Take a paper towel here. I want to coat the whole thing so it doesn't stick to the bowl. Oh boy. A little on the sticky side, but that's okay because we're gonna let it rest for an hour. And then when we come back to it, we're going to put it on a lightly floured surface so we can work just a little bit more flour into it. I'm going to cover it with the cling wrap or saran wrap, whatever you want to call it. We do need to spray the top of it. So if the dough does get big enough, it won't stick to the wrap here. So all I'm going to do is take my spray and just spray it. And flip it over and put it on the bowl. Just like that. I'm just gonna set it over here on my oven and we're gonna let it go for an hour. So in an hour, I will check back with you. So it's been an hour. And let me show you this. It's crazy how much this rises. Look at this. The whole bowl is full. And it was only, I don't know, a third of it full before. So that's how much it's raised in an hour. Pretty crazy. We got a floured surface here. We're gonna take this and roll this out. I mean, really, seriously, look at this. How crazy is that? I'm gonna try to get it out here on the counter. All right, so we got this dough out here on the counter. We need 10 to 12 pieces out of this. So I'm gonna try to get this evenly spread out here. We're going to try to get decently even pieces. If they're not exact, it's no big deal. You'll just have some smaller pretzels versus bigger ones. So I'm going to cut this in half. And we are going to go half again. Like I said, 10 to 12 pieces. So and I know for a fact we're gonna have some bigger ones versus smaller ones. Try to get them even. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to just set these aside here. We're gonna start rolling these out. I did also turn on my oven to 450 degrees so that can heat up while we do this. So we are going to get these rolled out. If you ever get small ones like this, they make really small pretzels. Or I just take them and do like the little bite-sized ones and then just throw them on the pan as well. So I will probably do that with this where that one's so small. But then I've also got some big ones. It happens, whatever. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to roll these out. Just gonna like make a snake. You know, you remember making snake with Play-Dohs? We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna roll this out. You do get flour kind of everywhere. If you tap it a bit, it kind of helps it stretch. And by no way are these gonna be exactly perfect. They're your own unique thing. Stretch them out to about that. So, I don't know, 20 inches-ish. Sure. You're gonna twist them, push them together, just like that, and we're gonna set it aside. So we're gonna do that with all of these. I'll show you one more here. said, you're gonna have some smaller ones and some bigger ones. Sometimes it happens. I try to get even. It half the time doesn't work. Again, set it aside. Next one. Same thing. Pretzel. I'm gonna keep going. All right, so I have all these pretzels ready. As I pull them up and work with them, I'm gonna kind of stretch them again because they kind of shrink as you do the other ones. I did do a couple little pretzel bites. So now what we have to do is we have to get, you have to dunk these in baking soda and hot water. So I've got half a cup of baking soda here. We're gonna pour it into a bowl. And we're gonna get as hot of water as we can out of our faucet. It's 4 cups. So we're gonna pour that into this baking soda. And we're gonna mix it up just to make sure that that baking soda dissolves. Kind of does this fizzy thing and everything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dunk the pretzels into this. And we have to put them, we're going to put them directly on a greased cookie sheet. So I already have my cookie sheets here that are all greased up. I have my cookie sheets here that are all greased up. And we are going to go ahead and do this. So, it doesn't look like that's quite dissolved yet. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, so we're going to take this. Like I said, I'm going to stretch it just a little bit to make sure they're good. You're going to dunk it, let it drip off for a second, and then place it on your cookie sheet. I totally failed at getting these even. There's there's a lot bigger ones and then there's smaller ones. Doesn't matter, whatever. They all taste the same and they all taste amazing. So, totally failed, but that's all right. Like this one's massive. Dunk it, let it drip off, put it on your plate. On your plate, yeah, cookie sheet, that's what I meant. Dunk it. Wow, this one went all crazy. We're just gonna leave it how it is. Okay, now I have those on my cookie sheet. I'm actually going to use my sea salt and put it all over the pretzels. So, just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other cookie sheet worth with the 4 pretzels that are left, as well as these little dots that I did. Same thing, dunk them all, put them on the cookie sheet. So it's 450 degrees. I'm just waiting for my oven to heat up, and you'll cook them for 8 minutes and then pull them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these ones done. Oven just beeped, so we're gonna go ahead and get the pretzels put in. Remember, it's 450 degrees for 10 minutes, and we'll see how they turn out. Okay, so I pulled the first batch out of pretzels. They're a little bit overdone. I've never had that happen before. So I actually just adjusted the timer on the second thing. I'm only doing 9 minutes this time, and we're gonna check them partway through. I didn't check these, I just kind of let them go as I tried to pick up. So from here though, you can do all kinds of different things. I'm going to melt some butter and put some butter on and probably just add a little bit of sea salt. You can do butter with cinnamon sugar. You can leave them how they are. You can do everything bagel seasoning. You can do whatever you want, honestly, with these. We love just a little bit extra, or a little bit of butter on the top with just a little bit of extra sea salt. And then dipping sauces. You can do cream cheese. You can do a cheese dip. You can do whatever. I love mine plain. My husband loves cream cheese. So I have some cream cheese in the fridge for him to dip his in. But yeah, these are the pretzels. I'll show you the next batch, show that they're not quite as dark as these ones. They taste so good though. So I'm gonna go ahead and melt this butter. And I'll show you that, and then just put a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna use the sea salt that I had done earlier that I told you I was gonna use. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what I do. Butter is melted for the most part. So I'm just going to leave them right here on the cookie sheet. Run the butter on them. Look how big this one is, it's huge. I failed at getting them even, but they still taste amazing. Look how big that is. Holy cow, huge. There we go. I'll show you the next batch when it comes out. All right, so I got these ones out of the oven. Words are hard again today. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint butter on these and then put more sea salt on these ones. I don't do a lot of butter on them, just a little bit. Kind of help that stick. These little ones are so cute. There's my oven. Alrighty. Put more sea salt on these. That's gonna tip over. All right. Look at these though. They're so cute. I'll pull these off, put them on this cooling rack. This one's stuck. Look at that. Huge. Alrighty, gotta taste them, of course. Take this one that's been cooling for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. You have to try these. You gotta make them. They're not that hard. They just take a little bit of time just because of the hour wait. But you gotta try them. Thanks for joining me. Come back anytime. Want your family cooking? We'll keep posting videos. See you later. We're going to be making pretzels, soft pretzels. Yep.